A channel with 1 million subscribers isn't necessarily a wealthy one. In the modern creator economy, the size of an audience tells you almost nothing about the size of the bank account attached to it. This chart compares the payout of 2 different videos. On the left, a gaming video hits 1 million views. On the right, a highly technical software tutorial reaches just 100,000. Yet they both generate the exact same $3,000 in ad revenue. This is the vanity metric fallacy. It is the widespread misconception that maximizing subscriber counts and chasing viral reach is the optimal path to financial success. The actual yield of any digital audience is governed by a hidden metric, revenue per mil, or RPM. This is the exact dollar amount a creator keeps for every 1,000 views. True channel profitability is not a dark art or a stroke of viral luck. It is a strict mathematical equation, driven strictly by algorithmic and economic mechanics. By isolating the specific variables that mathematically drive this equation, it is possible to decouple income from the exhaustion of the viral rat race. This concept is known as algorithmic arbitrage. Every dollar earned on this platform begins with a single transaction, an advertiser buying a viewer's attention. Advertisers bid for this attention at a wholesale price, known as cost per mil, or CPM. This is what the brand pays to secure 1,000 ad impressions. Look at this block representing a $20 CPM, but the creator does not keep that entire amount. The platform immediately extracts a 45% revenue share deduction for long-form video. That is the platform tax. What remains is your baseline RPM. A $20 CPM yields an $11 RPM. This is the net cut actually allocated to the creator. Even then, that baseline is degraded by friction points in the system. Viewers using ad blocking software and unmonetized playbacks quietly shave down the final payout. This baseline varies wildly by subject matter. Personal finance content routinely commands CPMs between $15 and $22. General gaming content, by contrast, sits heavily between $3 and $7. Boasting about a high CPM is just another vanity trap. Optimizing for the net RPM is the only metric that dictates actual bank deposits. Securing a high raw RPM is only the first step. If the audience doesn't stay engaged, that high rate is mathematically useless. To measure the true yield of an audience, we use the revenue per impression equation. This formula calculates the overall revenue generated every time a thumbnail is presented to a viewer. Notice how click-through rate and average view duration act as compounding multipliers. A moderate $9 RPM paired with a strong 10% click-through rate and an 8-minute view duration generates a high final output. Now watch what happens when we input a massive $15 RPM, but the audience drops off after 90 seconds. The low retention mechanic completely destroys the potential of a high-paying niche. This brings us to the primary format constraint limiting view duration and ad density, the structural divide between short-form and long-form video. Content stretching beyond 8 to 15 minutes allows creators to insert strategic mid-roll ads. This simple mechanic multiplies the total ad opportunities available per viewer. Short-form content operates under a completely different economic reality. It faces a severe structural revenue cap enforced by the platform's pooled ad distribution model. The data is unambiguous. Short-form content suffers an estimated 95% decrease in ad payout compared to long-form uploads. Mastering the revenue per impression equation means abandoning the short-form volume race. The math heavily favors long-form, high-retention content formats. There is one external predictor of ad bit competitiveness that operates entirely outside of a creator's content quality. It is audience geography. Digital advertisers do not distribute their budgets equally across the globe. They segment their campaigns strictly by geographic tiers, driven entirely by regional consumer purchasing power. This map highlights Tier 1 markets: the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia. These regions possess high household disposable income, triggering aggressive advertiser competition and securing the maximum base rate. Contrast that with Tier 3 markets like India, Brazil, and Southeast Asia. These regions offer massive viewer volume, but severely lower purchase intent conversion rates, reducing ad bids to a fraction of the baseline. The disparity is severe. A viewer situated in a Tier 1 country yields 3 to 5 times more ad revenue than the exact same video watched in a Tier 3 market. This presents a strategic trap. Choosing a broad topic with global appeal might accumulate millions of views, but if it predominantly attracts a Tier 3 audience, the channel's RPM collapses. Geographic audience targeting is not an afterthought. It is a foundational mathematical requirement for a viable digital business. To understand why certain niches pay so much more, we have to examine the psychology and economics of the platform's highest bidding advertisers. The core economic mechanic driving top-tier RPMs is a concept called intent interception. Niches like B2B SaaS, personal finance, and legal tech do not accumulate casual browsers. They target professional decision-makers at the exact point of an operational bottleneck. Consider an enterprise buyer actively searching for a tutorial on how to integrate Salesforce with HubSpot. This funnel illustrates the advertiser's math. Enterprise software providers and legal firms calculate customer lifetime value in thousands of dollars per year. When an advertiser is securing a $2,000 annual subscription, paying a premium $30 or $50 CPM to reach that specific buyer is a highly rational, incredibly inexpensive customer acquisition cost. True algorithmic arbitrage is simply the act of intercepting highly valuable corporate search queries just moments before a high-ticket transaction occurs. When you combine precise RPM data, geographic targeting, high retention formats, and customer lifetime value, a complete business model emerges. We call this the monetization stack. It is the strategy required to decouple channel revenue from the standard limitations of platform ad share. Standard AdSense RPM serves as the foundational break-even layer. The middle layer integrates high-ticket SaaS affiliate programs, paying 20 to 70% recurring commissions on renewals. The ultimate top layer is B2B pipeline value. Here, technical tutorials act as lead funnels for direct enterprise sales. Under this stacked model, a targeted B2B channel with only 25,000 views might generate $800 in AdSense, but it will easily drive hundreds of thousands of dollars in closed pipeline deals. With this structure in place, a creator only needs to secure 13,000 to 30,000 highly targeted views per video to reach total profitability. Success in the modern digital economy requires abandoning the pursuit of mass market virality. Wealth is built by adopting the strict mathematical discipline of algorithmic arbitrage.